Hello and welcome everyone to this Warcraft replay. This is going to be the final series of Group D of the WCA 2014. This is going to be a Night Elf versus Undead matchup here on the map Nomad Isles, and thank God that the models are normal. If you don't know, and you shouldn't, I did try recording this like a couple minutes ago, and the models of the buildings are just really weird. Hell, I don't know what it was, but I can describe it fairly well. Honestly, the top bit of this necropolis was missing, and it was just hollow. Imagine like the Assassin's Creed Unity models being really wacky and all that. Yeah, imagine that, but for like every single building here. And like all these spiky things coming out of these constructed buildings, it's like underneath these circles of power or whatever. It was just really weird, but yeah, that's another way of getting rid of that small amount of time where nothing really happens. But of course I gotta introduce the players. In the top left we have WFZ spawning in as the blue undead player, going for a Death Knight, and of course the building order is also important, especially for an undead player. It is going to be a Tomb of Relics. We have yet to see a graveyard, so tending towards more of mass ghouls here for WFZ. His opponent is going to be WarchiefRich, the red Night Elf player in the top right. He will be going for the standard Demon Hunter, and immediately should at least recognize that it is going to be a lot of early ghoul aggression here, as well we do have a ghoul scout from WFZ, and normally players who go like Crypt Fiends really early don't go ghoul scout, because well, you don't actually want to make too many ghouls, because not only does that cost, you know, precious gold, it just doesn't really fit in. Yeah, so great indicator for that, and of course WarchiefRich does now know. It's actually really difficult for WarchiefRich to actually handle here. I'm not sure if it was him or if it was WFZ that pulled both of these creep camps, but nevertheless both of these creep camps were pulled, and it is, or WCR is kind of struggling, but since he brought so many wisps over, it doesn't seem like it's going to result in a destruction of the Ancient of War. Of course, needs to be careful about those wisps themselves, try not to get killed off by the Death Knight, thankfully, who has yet to get himself any bit of experience. He does have Unholy Aura, so it kind of makes it rather difficult to pick up kills. But as I say that, he did get his first wisp kill, and it might be a second very soon. There we go. So yeah, there's that. Here we go with the mass ghouls already. Immolation is going to be the second ability picked up here for WarchiefRich. Probably should turn that off since not many ghouls are being affected by it. But of course the Demon Hunter is going to try and get as many as possible. I mean, he does have a pendant of energy, so he can afford to use that immolation, you know, longer than he usually would without one. Alright, so level 2 on the Demon Hunter. He does have mana burn as well. Not ideal. Actually, I'm not sure if he does have mana burn. It's just that I haven't seen any evasion procs either. There we go with the mana burn. Okay. I say it's not ideal because, well, you know, having two abilities actually cost a lot of mana, as seen all the time with like what was it? Tauren Chieftains, Pandas, what else? Mountain Kings. Yeah, we don't usually see like two mana costing abilities from a hero at a time. We usually just see like an ability and then a passive, and of course if they don't have a passive, they just don't use the second ability. Yeah, mana just cost way too much in Warcraft 3. But of course, yeah, mana actually does something, at least. I guess the only exceptions would be only exception would be a Shadow Hunter. I see a Shadow Hunter using Hex and Healing Wave actually pretty frequently, and of course subsequently as well. But anyway, enough of this rabble. We do have a Hunter Soul coming out for WarchiefRich, timing it well with the Tree of Ages as well, so I'm hoping to get that double Ancient of Law as soon as that tier 2 is done. Both of the heroes actually suffering quite a bit of health loss, but the Moonwells are very helpful for the Demon Hunter, and surprisingly enough, WarchiefRich, actually I'm not sure if it's surprising, but well, WFZ did choose to go for a Naga Sea Witch, so he really wants to pick off, you know, early units, try to get that kill count reasonably high, finally get that level 2, because you know, level 2 it would be nice to have Death Coil, because the Death Knight is not really that useful without the Death Coil. Of course the Unholy Aura does give a little bit of health regen, but compared to like just the straight up here from the Death Coil, plus you're gonna use your mana instead of get it all burnt up by that Demon Hunter. But since the Naga Sea Witch is out, I would imagine she is gonna be the Demon Hunter's main target. Anyway, we do have Ultra Visions very close to completion. We do have the double Ancient of Laws also being placed down. Haven't seen a WFZ's base recently, so let's go ahead. We have the Black Citadel on the way. We also have a Sword House completed. Don't know if we have any statues out yet. We do not. And I believe that's just because we were waiting on a Ziggurat. And there we go, double statues are coming out. Alright. Hero composition for WarchiefRich, it is going to be a Panda second. So yeah, I would say it's the most common of the Night Elves. Of course, Night Elves use so many different tavern heroes. They use Nagas, they use Pandas, they use Beastmasters and all that. But I would say the Panda's like the most common of the three, at least. And it's against a Naga Sea Witch as well. If Naga gets maybe caught, maybe a little pathing from the Demon Hunter, that might be a very quick dead Naga Sea Witch, I think, or at least I feel. Do we only have one Crypt Fiend out for WFZ? I think that might be the case. Frenzy is on the way, so obviously tier 3 is done. We have the Lich coming up very, very soon. He's going to pick up an Orb of Corruption, most likely. Yeah. The reasoning behind the lack of Crypt Fiends is, I guess, mainly due to the fact that we still have a lot of ghouls alive. We do have Destroyer form. I believe it's done. No, it's halfway, so it's gonna be done fairly soon, but yeah, we just have a lot of ghouls still alive. I'm not sure how well that's going to translate into mid to late game, because ideally WarchiefRich should be getting out some bears already. Whether or not we have Masters Training, we do not. But yeah, bears will destroy those ghouls. But right now, archers, dryads don't really cut it, so WFZ is in the clear for now. And hell, if he even destroys one of these Ancient of Laws, he's looking really, really solid late from here on out. We do have Immolation still being used. We did have a little bit of a late Scroll of the Beast, but at least it was used. TP Scroll as well will be kind of last minute to save that Demon Hunter. We do actually have one bear coming out. He does have that Rejuvenate on the Demon Hunter, so yeah, he will be able to use that, but so much burst on that Demon Hunter. You'll be able to quaff a health potion though. Doesn't seem like the Nova Coil plus Lightning combo is enough. And of course we did see the WC3 being taken down before that TP scroll, so yeah, very useful there. Panda, pretty much on cooldown, he is tossing out those Breath of Fires. It is significant against those ghouls. We actually had the Demon Hunter taken out as well. That is rather unfortunate, but the Panda was able to pick up the Death Knight for revenge. The only problem I see so far is that we lost a quite fair number of bears for WarchiefRich. I mean, WFZ, he pretty much lost like all his ghouls and his Death Knight, but I think WarchiefRich suffered way more losses than his undead counterpart here. Of course, if the Lich gets taken out, then things are much more different, but it doesn't really matter too much since the Lich was traded for the Panda. It's a lot of back and forth trading here, and of course, since WFZ has one more hero, yeah, Nagasi, which was able to come on out. Yeah, destroyers are going to be really, really painful for these bears. Even though bears, like, they will destroy ghouls, those destroyers will destroy those bears. So yeah, and of course these dryads will destroy those destroyers, but still, having only one Ancient of Law is going to really hinder WarchiefRich production, obviously. Kind of stuck making either dryads or bears, whichever one you need to do. What are we looking at upgrades? We're still 0-0 for WarchiefRich. Meanwhile, WFZ, is he even considering upgrades? I don't even know, but the Death Knight is revived, and of course the Lich is in progress of reviving. We actually have a Boneyard out for WFZ as well. Probably should have mentioned that as soon as I saw the shade. So Frost Worms are coming into play as well. Yeah. So WFZ is basically making an anti-Druid of Claw comp here. A lot of destroyers, a lot of frost worms, ghouls. I'm not sure what purpose they are trying to serve. Maybe it's just to counteract those dryads, I guess. But yeah, we already have like 2 statues plus 1 destroyer out, so there is that, and we also have Frostworm number 1 very, very close to completion as well. Surprisingly enough, WCA is still no upkeep. Meanwhile, WarchiefRich, he would like to get at least 50. Alright, all 3 heroes are up. Level 3, level 3, level 2. But of course the Lich can get to level 3 very, very soon if he continues to hard farm. Meanwhile, WarchiefRich is level 3.5 on his Demon Hunter. Is attempting this Bronze Drake camp. It is spotted out by WFZ, so if he maybe gets close to finishing off the Bronze Drake, then yeah, WFZ will come in and try to steal things. Dark Wizard is actually the creep monster that you want since it drops the item. It is going to be a Talisman of the Wind. So 3 charges of those Furbolgs. Furbolg Warriors, I believe. No, it's just Furbolgs. So yeah. Honestly, like 50 over 50 for WFZ. He might even go over, which he did. Like that plus the free Furbolgs, that's really, really difficult to deal with if you're in WarchiefRich's position here. Now we do have finally the second Ancient of Lore replaced, but we're still no upkeep for WarchiefRich, and here we go, we are going to have half of these guys getting caught out here. Demon Hunter is the primary target, and he will be taken down, and honestly that didn't look too good for WCR, and that is going to be GG in fact. So yeah, that was kind of unfortunate, but that did turn out to be the case. Hopefully you guys have enjoyed this game 1. It was very, very action-packed, I might say. So yeah, game 2, and then we're done with Group D, and of course start with the tiebreakers.